Hello, and welcome to episode number 8 of I Saw Moglin Kissing Shanna Lot. I'm your host, Niko, they, them, and I'm joined as always by Sparkletone, they, them.
Okay, A, terrible. B, spoilers. C,
Look.
that's terrible. That's real bad.
I spent like half an hour thinking of that one, so...
You shouldn't know that name. Not Santa, the other one.
Well, I was looking up Dark Souls NPCs to make puns of them, and I don't know anything more about that name other than that it kind of sounds like Santa Claus, so...
Okay. If you only know the name, it's alright.
Peregrine. They, them.
I tried to think of a good Christmas pun between when you gave that intro and now, and I couldn't because it turns out they're all bad.
Yes. Even the good ones are bad. And we also have Mo.
Hello. I don't have anything witty to say, but
That's
I'm sure
usually
I'll come
true.
Up with something later.
Gee, that's such a change from the usual.
Ominous foreshadowing right at the start here.
So, so this is going to be our last episode before the holidays. We've all got, various plans coming up, so it's going to be hard for us to record and broadcast these live. So, this will be the last one for December, and then we'll be off for a few weeks, and then we'll be back in January. So we'll also remind everyone at the end of the episode of the schedule. Real quick, the rules for the series, as always, are 1, I'm only allowed to play for 2 hours a week, no playing on the side. 2, I'm not allowed to look anything up or write anything down. I can only rely on my memory and my coaches for advice. And 3, no backseating in the chat. My coaches are here to help me out, and I don't need any additional help. Last time we kind of checked out a new area, and we found some skeletons, and I didn't really feel like dealing with them, so I might head back there. We also came to this area just to finish something off, and we killed the dragon, but we did not go past the dragon, so it might be nice to see what was past him. And yeah.
The one addition I would make is that we met a very angry young man named Creighton, who said that he had beef with a guy named Pate who sounded awfully familiar.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait. Is he mad? So if Pate is stealing from Creighton, did Pate loot Creighton? Is this the birth of loot crates?
I sure hope not.
The first 3 responses to that come to mind that aren't just yelling at you for being horrible are all spoilers. So you're torturing me by I can't say anything.
What about
I've got
contextless spoilers for a different game? How about that?
What a very nice cast speed.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I kind of wanted the nice 69 cast speed. Unfortunately, it doesn't help my magic beans at all, but,
Yo, but, you're not gonna do it.
I mean, at some point I am going to keep putting points into games, so... And I haven't put a point into Vigor in a little while, so I figured that stat could use some love.
So is our intent after this to go see what's through that fog door in Hyde's Tower?
Past the dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was right where we left off last time, so I think that's a good first thing to do.
I have a quick thing we should do before that.
Okay.
That we forgot to do last time, because it was late. We want to go to the bonfire in Huntsman's Copse. That's the hut where we met Creighton near the...
This one?
Yeah, that should be it.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out very quickly if I was right.
I should have directed us toward this before. We want to go back across the bridge we lowered. So, not there. Yep, that
this
one.
one? Okay.
Yep. And somewhere over here there is a hut that we can sort of drop into. That you can't get into, like, just via the door. The door only opens from the inside. Oh, hello.
Hold on. I'm remembering how to play this game.
Oh,
oops, that was Life Gem.
3-week break is going to be a whole thing.
I know, right? That's, we are pre-baking a few episodes in advance.
It should be, like, kind of more over here on the left. There will be, like, a ledge and a drop down into a hut.
Ah.
Yep,
Hold
right
on.
there. We want to, yeah. We want to get rid of these boys and go in there. And when you go in there, be ready to fight, maybe.
I'm always ready to fight. Oh, hello.
Nah, he's fine.
Oh, now
oh, right. I forgot. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, right on the head. That's gonna leave a mark.
I imagine that in
Ow.
an ideal
Hello.
world, we don't end on a boss fight tonight, so that in 3 weeks' time, you don't have to, like, or, you know, however many weeks' time from now, you don't have to, like, walk into a,
We're in a place now where we have kind of some options, and they're not all boss fights at the moment.
yeah.
Okay.
And this chest is what we came in here for.
Ooh.
I wanted you to have that before you go see what's in the fog door that we were talking about.
That is very fair. Where does this go?
I never liked Sublime.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
More of a Emacs person.
I just never got.
More of a blind
I just never got it.
Sorry, what was that, Peregrine?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have anything like interesting to say about it. It was one of those things where everyone was like, "Oh, I love Sublime," and then I heard it and I was like, that's it?"
Oh. So no one got my joke. That's fine. I'm used to it.
Oh, wait, we're making jokes?
Well, I was talking about the text editor.
There's wait, sorry, hold on, back up.
Sublime is a text editor. It's the one I use, actually.
What?
Listen,
There's
we're being
more
nerds,
than one
okay?
text editor?
Oh, there's a lot
thought
of text.
Oh, there are heated arguments about which text editor is the good one. So.
People
That
not
is
just
the
use
standard editor.
I
Notepad?
thought everybody just used Google Docs.
No.
That's how all computer programs are made in Google Docs, right?
Oh, I need to go to
Burn
the
the
fire.
dust in the fire, and
I just
then
read
we're good to
everything in
go.
Notepad.
yeah,
Some
it turns
force
out
has
Notepad doesn't
strengthened
have
the
enough
Estus Flask.
features if you're gonna do coding. It's a bad time.
Everyone knows that VI
It's
is better than Emacs anyway.
It's a pad time.
Well, Malentia laughed at your joke, even if none of us did.
Thanks. Thanks, Bay.
I feel like we have a lot of effigies right now, so I think we're okay there.
Let's see. 21. Yeah, I could just buy a boatload of life gems since I have been kind of going through those a little bit.
Yeah, 20. I try to sort of float 20 of them.
I do have some better life gems, but yeah. If I'm just gonna dump some money because I'm probably gonna lose it anyway.
You could also just save your money.
I'm getting the strong sense that I'm going to be immediately losing all of my money. Just saying.
Oh, right. You're gonna go past the dragon.
I am.
Dragon, past the dragon.
Okay, it is done.
You'll never be mad at having extra life gems.
Yeah, I'll just be mad that life gems are even a thing in this game. So.
Check out
also,
my highlight reel, Extra Life Gems. It's the best of my Extra Life stream.
One thing I was thinking for this episode, since it's sort of the last one of the year and we're sort of in the thick of the annual Game of the Year type time, if folks wanted to just like talk a little bit about things that stuck with them, whether from this year or not, something that just you want to shout out. Maybe there's some other stuff that we can talk about that usually doesn't come up.
Sure.
That's the wrong button. One of my favorites from this year was definitely Celeste, and I've been seeing it get a lot of love, in these last few weeks, which is really cool to see. So, did everyone else on here play Celeste?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Sparkly, you want to go ahead?
Oh, no, I don't have anything other to say than Celeste is amazing, and even if anybody watching this hasn't played it and is maybe wary of what seems like a difficult platformer, make this one the exception and give it a shot.
Yeah, Celeste is really the rare example of a game that offers something for everyone, whether you want a stiff challenge or you just want to be able to experience it at a difficulty that is right for you, whatever that may be. It's exceedingly rare to find that. Usually you get a lot of it's either extremely hard or it's not. And I do find that having wasn't focusing. Having a challenge that's tailored to your own personal skills and abilities really, I think is important for my enjoyment of a game. I think that there are definitely games that I felt like didn't quite push me enough, and then there are also ones that I've felt like were frustrating to a point where I didn't have any fun with them, and so I love that Celeste. I love that it's a sys mode, gives you options if you want to change the way the game is balanced to make something more accessible to you, or it's got the optional stuff with the B and C sides that you can engage with if you are so inclined.
Yeah, I played the last 2 levels of that game on assist mode, and it was still a really fun experience.
Yeah.
The way you could tailor it, there were I was using different levels of assist mode at different points of those levels, just because they were generally too tough for me to not get frustrated on, but yeah, it was cool. It was cool to still be able to modulate that and not just have it be you're invincible.
Yeah, and I wish more games did that and took that lesson from Celeste, because I think that's really important to make games available to more people, and yeah, I think that I think that a really tough thing for folks to get over, I know I faced this myself, is that feeling of you're somehow letting yourself down if you put the game in quote-unquote easy mode, and I wish there wasn't this sort of social stigma around doing that, and that people could feel like they could more freely do that, and that they weren't depriving themselves of some critical part of the experience or anything like that. But yeah. I think that as more games do this, another example of a game doing this I've had this year was Yakuza Kiwami. Actually, if you were struggling on a boss fight, it would just say, "Hey, do you want to drop the difficulty for just this fight?" In a really,
cool.
Not. It wasn't making you feel bad or degrading you in any way. It was just hey, there's nothing wrong with dropping this down if that's what you want to do. And then we'll put it right back after the fight is over too, so you don't have to go back into the settings and change it back.
I got that dialogue in what amounts to the first boss fight in Kiwami, and I ended up saying no to it, not out of some macho posturing. No, I'm not going to use the chicken hat or whatever, like I will with some games. I said no because the reason I was having trouble was not that the fight was particularly difficult for me. It was that, like a doofus, I had been allowed to run around in the open world before ending up in the boss fight situation, and had not bought any healing items. And so I had like 2 or 3, and that fight can be like really long.
Right.
So I decided that forcing myself to complete it in the situation I had put myself in was my punishment for not remembering to go buy some staminans. And oh hey!
Oh, that was.
This boy looks familiar in this area that looks an awful lot like Anorlando.
Don't hurt my large adult son, please.
All right, that was not a good time to cast.
Well, this is not the large version. This is the regular sized version.
Still pretty large.
I mean, he's his normal size, not the size you see him after getting rid of his partner in the first game.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too into the necessarily all of the details here because they're a little bit fight spoilery. But one thing I find really interesting about the old Dragon Slayer is that there's a lot of speculation as to whether or not that's actually Ornstein from the first game.
Yeah.
I guess just to clarify this for people who haven't played the first Dark Souls, the old Dragon Slayer is wearing the same armor and using the same weapon and a very similar moveset to one half of the kind of the most famous boss in the first Dark Souls game. Arguably the most famous.
Yeah, I think that's fair. One of the.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I didn't have a particularly memorable time with that fight.
Might be more.
I would say like top 3 most famous fights from the first game.
Sure.
But because this game is kind of cagey with its ties to the first one, it's interesting that they don't make it explicit one way or the other, which is a thing the third game has no qualms about.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how those things start to tie together, because I've definitely heard that about 3. But I may need to go watch some recaps of the lore bits of Dark Souls 1 and probably 2, because I kind of missed a lot of it in 1, and then I'm unfortunately not really focusing a whole lot on text because I'm trying to do multiple things at once here. So,
for sure.
That's okay.
As your coach, I will reiterate that I do still think running past this set of enemies is going to be a better option than
possibly, but also they have started to despawn them, so I'm wondering if I can quickly get to that point where I don't even need to bother fighting them.
Yeah, but you're gonna spend those souls though.
If I get enough, I might hop into the boss fight and bone my way out. Yes, I know I use that in a weird verb form, but.
I will just say that people usually use homeward for the verb form of that item for reasons that might be obvious.
Wait, no, I've only ever said bone.
Listen, sometimes you just gotta bone your way out.
Yep.
It's like if an owl eats you, that's all you got left. You just gotta bone your way out.
We're gonna pellet our way out of this?
What? No, we're the bones in the pellet. We gotta bone out because there's
This
no
is very disgusting. This is incredibly disgusting.
Owl pellets are cool.
They're cool, but they're gross.
Sometimes gross things are cool.
It's true. We haven't gotten to any of the truly gross stuff in this game, but we'll get there. Oof.
Yeah, I was a little early on the roll. I almost didn't. That was good. thinking about healing. Oh, I should have. Yeah, I should have. Oh. Was not expecting that to be a 3-hit combo. I unfortunately don't remember the move set from Ornstein and Smo. So, my version of that fight. So I basically like beat that on my second or third try, and my version of that fight was very quickly burn down the larger of the two, who I don't even remember which of the two that is. That's
Smo.
Smo, okay.
Or Smuff.
Or Smog.
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 And then, yeah. And then
Smuff.
And
it's
then
actually,
just
it's
like,
actually Smuff.
Like hid behind pillars, out of range of lightning stuff, or like using it as cover, while shooting Ornstein with a crossbow repeatedly. And
that's a choice.
It worked.
Whatever
Big
works.
Ornstein is I don't know. That's one of my favorite fights to like co-op with people, just because it's a fun fight, but also because that's a good way to like make enough cash to like level yourself up that you don't really need to worry about leveling for like almost the entire rest of the game. If you do it right.
Yeah.
So I've done that fight so many times that the thought of sort of being put on the back foot enough that I would consider a crossbow is very alien to me, I guess is how I would put it.
Come on.
The last time I did that fight was that wasn't co-op, was my Soul Level 1 playthrough. Which took me quite a few tries just because the like first 30 seconds of that fight is a mess when you can't get hit.
Yeah, I wish I had a recording of it. I wasn't saving clips of any of those fights, unfortunately.
I think I have the one from my main playthrough, but not from the Soul Level 1 playthrough. I forgot. But basically, at least the way I did it was that you sort of have to simultaneously try to keep a pillar between you and Smo so that he can't do the attack where he puts his hammer down and charges and actually hit you. And at the same time, try to hit Ornstein with Great Combustion, which he likes to hop backwards when you get really close to him. And even though the wind-up on Great Combustion isn't super long, that's kind of a pain. The good news is that if you can get Ornstein down, I discovered that 3 casts of Combustion will stagger Big Smo, and so you just sort of stun lock him, and that's the end of the fight.
Nice.
Getting there was a problem, but that last like 90 seconds was not as bad.
For whatever reason, like I played a sorcery build when I did Dark Souls 1, and like I am definitely never playing a sorcery build in one of these games again because I just do not have the like mind for it. And I like ended up having to basically leave and come back with like a decent int weapon to do that fight. It ended up being a spear, for the record. A very pretty spear from a very nice moth friend.
I bet
that's a good spear for that kind of build. Oh,
heavy armor.
Oh my god.
It would have been
Here we
easier.
go.
Oh, if I grind in any game, it's generally a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly.
But giving into my base desires is sort of I generally try not to, you know.
Well, you ground your way to a spear from the butterfly.
Never said I had to grind.
just depends on what you consider grinding.
But yeah, otherwise, like, final thought on Celeste, before I forget, is just that, like, you know, tightness of controls and really well-designed levels and interesting mechanics in each one, aside, the thing that really sort of blew me away that I was not expecting was just how the story of that game would resonate really well with me. And so, you know, that is why I would probably make my strongest argument for playing it even on assist mode, if that's something that you wouldn't normally do, because I thought it was really worth seeing just some of the best written, like, stuff about facing your own anxiety that I've seen in a game. So I don't know if anyone else has any other thoughts about Celeste before we move on to
that aspect really resonated for me and ended up teaching me the last about half of the final level. I learned that I actually can do some fairly tricky platforming while crying. Is basically what was happening there. And I haven't, like, I do want to eventually go back and give a proper try to the more difficult optional stuff, and I have, like, half a dozen or something of the berry collectibles that I never grabbed. But I'm not sure. It was the kind of emotional impact that almost makes me sort of not want to go back to just the regular single player for a long time. Because even watching the GDQ race of that game, when they got to the final level and the music really kicks in, and I was like, it's dusty in my room again.
Someone cutting onions in here? Yeah. Yeah, and I will say that, like, if you go through the B and C sides, it doesn't quite have that same emotional core like the main game does. The main thing that you get from that is just the feeling of accomplishment when you beat one of those. Yeah, the hardest C-side I did, which is level C-side 7, there was one screen that I probably died more than 1,000 times on, and beating that was probably one of the most satisfying things I've ever done in the game. And I spent so long on it that I actually made my thumb kind of sore and numb for a few weeks. So don't do that. That's not a good idea. But yeah, like, that was just a fantastic game all around.
So sad. Alexa, play Numb by Linkin Park.
Well, this is the Cathedral of Blue. Why not, Blue Monday or something? I'm sure there must be set. That's not the right kind of sad.
Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let me use Estus. All right, that's cool.
And also, unlike Celeste, not at all hopeful.
Yeah. Well.
That double swing gets me, especially if it follows up a hit that I take. I just don't have quite enough time to recover. I'm getting up to that number of souls though, where I think next time I get there, I'm gonna bone out, as they say.
Okay. One thing. The one bit of advice that occurred to me in that try is that since you can't remember the moveset from the first game, only cast once until
I realized
you have the real wide
That's actually
opening.
What threw me off was I meant to cast once and I accidentally did it twice. And then at that point I was thinking about how I really shouldn't have casted, and then I died. So
yeah, I've had the...
As the old saying goes, the die is cast. Because you die when you cast.
That's not why that was said, but okay.
What is it supposed to mean, smarty pants?
the die is part of the it's part of a fishing rod. So when you cast a fishing rod, it's like, well, you cast that die.
Any other games from this year or played this year from previous years that anyone wants to shout out?
Yeah, I have a couple. For one thing that I'm thinking about is like how I think there's such a tendency to remember just like to trend towards like a recency bias when talking about Game of the Year stuff, but like I have to remember that my life was consumed by Warframe for about 4 months earlier this year, and I'm really, really excited for the new patch, which has hit on PC but hasn't come out on PS4 yet, called Fortuna, which has like I'm trying to go in relatively spoiler free, but the three things I know about it are cute animal conservation, labor uprising, and hoverboard. So I'm very excited for that.
No, you need enough time for the animation to go off, so you can't just.
Oh, I might not be boning out then.
But
well, you can do it. You just need to.
I need to dodge. I did dodge, and then I did it. So.
Aside from Warframe, Dead Cells was a blast this year. Monster Hunter World was a lot of fun until I fell off it really, really hard.
I mean, I was gonna say, like, you mentioned that you lost a long time to Warframe. For me, it was like this year is interesting because after 2017, this was my like off year for games. Like I usually kind of go in phases. But I lost like a solid month of my life to Monster Hunter World for like a couple of like interesting reasons. There's a timing element to why I needed the escapism at that point. But I don't think I've played a game as long in terms of like hour count, or for like as long in one sitting in years since Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and I had tried Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and did not enjoy it, but a lot of the reasons for that were reasons that were because of the 3DS. The small screen made my eyes hurt and my hands kind of hurt to like grip the controls, and the online didn't work all that well, and the control pad was not a good way to, look around and aim, in my opinion, and so like getting to play one of those games, but on a large screen and with a controller and with friends I played that with, like that finally clicked for me. So that was really neat. I'm super impressed that they were able to take a series that had traditionally been kind of, a niche thing and sell really well and make it a popular thing in the West.
It was an interesting moment of where, like, normally I'm not into games as a purely mechanical experience. Like, I usually need an aesthetic and exploration-based component to a game. But Monster Hunter World is like the closest I've been to like.
Oh, almost. The good news is that it doesn't spend the bone.
Yeah.
If you don't get through it.
No. Every time, just the overhead jumping slash.
Yeah, maybe get behind a pillar.
I was trying to. Oh.
But like on the other,
keep running into
kinda...
these. Oh, now it's good. Now it's good. No, don't.
No.
Oh, this is some good content.
Monster Hunter for me didn't have like a ton of replay value after a certain point, but like soloing Nergigante for the first time might have been one of my favorite.
Sorry, Mo. What happened there is that because he didn't do an overhead, because he just did a thrust, but didn't get there until after you had knelt down, your hitbox, his spear went over it.
Oh, that was
so he just whiffed. That was good. Yeah. Sorry, Mo.
Yeah, you were saying about Nergigante.
Oh no, just like that, like, despite the fact that like once I had gotten my fill of that game, I was done with it, and there are certain moments in that game that are like among the best of this year for me in gaming. Which was soloing Nergigante for the first time.
Agreed. And real quick, adaptability is not a bad choice at this stage.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I would say skip the point in int. You're doing very fine damage on that.
I'd actually
on that fellow, but we could use a better roll for sure.
Yeah, I think we're starting to feel the roll.
Okay.
A little more.
And then I'm gonna pop a soul and do a third level here too.
Good.
Sure.
Timing. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely, though, I will throw out that, like, as to my point about mechanics in Monster Hunter, like, the thing for me is I don't know that I've ever felt as good swinging a weapon in a game as I did playing Monster Hunter. And, like, I think that's part of why, like, I got my fill of it. Like you did, Mo. Like, I binged it heavily for a while and then kind of fell off because I think at that point I was just like, okay, I've like swung these weapons.
I didn't want to do the prestige fights.
Yeah, like I had gotten the look that I wanted pretty early on. Like I had gotten most of the weapon trees I wanted, and the fun thing at the end was like the multiplayer, and when other people kind of started. Well, realistically, what happened is I had to write my dang thesis. I needed to like put a moratorium on that game in particular.
You're saying your thesis couldn't be fighting monsters?
I will say that I feel like I'm better at fighting Legiana than I am at any of the work I actually did in graduate school, but you know.
Graduate school.
So
I wonder what the cat chef would say is the best monster emulsion.
Oh no.
What's the?
Should I keep doing adaptability or leave it at 10 for now and maybe drop it?
I would say that endurance upgrade, that 2 points of stamina, is looking pretty good.
I'm going to say Lavasia is the best emulsion monster.
What about just a classic Puke emulsion? You know?
Oh,
that big tongue?
That's not safe for plants or humans.
And now I think basically all of those mobs aren't spawning, so I have a clear run back.
Did anybody play that game Nordgard?
No.
Oh, that was one I liked for a little while. But no, like I didn't have anybody to play it with. It's like a Viking strategy game.
Wow, more like Nerdguard.
Ouch.
I was gonna say,
Nord.
I never actually got to see Nergigante. I bounced off before that, despite playing like, I don't know, 70 some odd hours in that game. But it was starting to get to that point where with my group that I was mostly playing with, that it was starting to get to be more like one hit KO or like one combo KO, to the point where like it would be sort of frustrating trying to do that as a group, and when like the number of deaths that you're allowed is sort of total for the group and not individual.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of stopped at the right point, but I definitely spent way more time in it than I did in any prior Monster Hunter game, and enjoyed it a lot more as well.
To be fair, it takes a very, very sharp weapon not to bounce off of Nergigante.
It's true.
I
was using a lance.
Let's take the homeward bone out of the item rotation.
Also, shout out to that hide spear that you just picked up, which like I'm pretty sure is a good and rare thing.
Oh really?
That you're just not gonna have any use for.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to. Oh, no, that's a great sword.
The other thing I really
25 attacks.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a good weapon.
Yeah. You were gonna say something.
Oh no, I was gonna say the other thing I made an effort to do this year was try to play a lot of stuff of itch. just a lot of
that's really cool.
stuff.
And seeing you talking about that stuff.
All Walls Must Fall is one of my favorite games of the year. It's a time-traveling Cold War turn-based strategy thing, which is like kind of a mix between XCOM and Superhot and Crypt of the Necrodancer, which is pretty cool. And then there's the other thing that's like was the standout was these games called Midnight Episodes, which are like 20-minute kind of pixel art, really pretty pixel art, point-and-click adventure games that are structured like Twilight Zone episodes.
That's cool.
Which are really cool. Yeah, those were my.
Yeah, this has been my big like old games year. Through like remixes like randomizers or just revisiting. Like I got back into Toho this year in a big way, which I still want to do some more. I was streaming that like weekly for a time. I'd love to get back into it. It's just like it's one of those things that I really got to be in a mood for. But that was a blast to revisit and catch up on.
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of.
Oh, go ahead.
I definitely had a lot of games early in the year that I played from prior years. It kind of felt coming into this year that it would be an off year for games overall, and it's funny how a lot of my favorites were actually from the first half of the year rather than the second. But that like a lot of my second half of the year was catching up on the good games from the first half that I had, put off for various reasons. So
yeah.
I feel like I've had kind of a strange year for a lot of reasons outside of games and like this was I've talked about this on a bunch of previous occasions because it's been relevant to what we're doing right now, but like this was the year where I went from just having watched these games for dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and some more dozens of hours to, doing all of them in fairly quick succession. In one case, literally doing like all of the stuff on the checklist that the developers include with the game.
Which one was that?
The Bloodborne Platinum.
Yeah.
Because I have considered doing the platinums for these games, but they almost always involve 2 or more playthroughs. Because one of the trophies they like to have is collect all the boss soul weapons. Yeah. And when that's like when there's like
one of
choices
2.
you have to when there's choices
right.
you have to make, you have to like either get somebody to drop them for you in co-op or it's nonsense. On top of getting like all the multiple endings, all that kind of stuff, which you can do a little bit with sort of save scumming, like you turn off the auto upload to the cloud on your PS4 and like make a copy of your save file on a USB stick and do one ending and then recopy the old file and then do it again because the trophies are on your account and all that kind of stuff. And that just seems like too much work. One of the nice things about the Bloodborne Platinum is that aside from the getting all 3 of the endings, the only thing that's really truly heinous in it is doing the Queen Yharnam fight deep down in the Chalice dungeons, which she's great. She's really cool. It's 2 fights before her is some real bullshit.
That Watchdog?
yeah, the second Watchdog fight, I have the video clip saved. It is literally like 8 to 10 minutes of me playing like the most conservative I have ever played in any of these games ever. Because there is exactly one opening in his pattern where I can hit him once and not get one shot by fire damage. Or if I'm lucky, only taken down to like 5% health with all of my fire stuff on. It's bad. It's not... The problem with that fight is that the whole rest of the game, they do such a stellar job of...
Oh no!
Oh, his grab got me. The whole rest of the game, they do a really stellar job of, for the most part, of designing fights that play to the game's strengths in terms of the combat pacing, and sort of allowing you to be reckless and aggressive, and, you know, get hit a couple times, and if you keep attacking, you'll get most of that health back. But in this one fight, you know, buried way deep in the game, most people aren't ever going to see it or try it, which is, frankly, for the better. You shouldn't.
Woo!
Well,
very nice job. Very nice.
Thank you.
That one fight, you cannot be aggressive. You cannot be reckless. You have to be patient to the point of tedium. Anyway, that was the old Dragon Slayer. So now that we've seen the whole fight, in his second phase and onward, he starts doing attacks that have like dark damage, dark magic, like which is what that
the big butt stompy,
the ground slam with the AoE, like that's dark, which one of the reasons people think that's not really Ornstein or something weird happened to him is that Ornstein is a lightning boy. So what's the deal there?
Oh, it's because there's a dark soul in this Ornstein.
Oh.
It's
Reminiscent.
The Last of Us.
Here's the other thing, though. It's not the old Dragon Slayer is a certain knight that appears in Legends. It's reminiscent of.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, that was our first.
I'm curious.
I think that was our first major callback to the first game. There's gonna be a couple more.
I'm curious when, if and when I will find the NPC that I can give those boss souls to, because so far neither of the two blacksmiths want them.
All I will say is it's not a blacksmith in this one.
Nice.
And yes, let's go talk to this fellow.
Not an illusion.
Nope.
That's another way.
And that's an actual door. We want to talk to him first.
Transient being. This is no
yes, I'm
place
trans.
for one such as you.
Fuck off.
You are not needed.
Oh. Well.
Transient being. Nothing has changed.
Put on
you would never make a Knight of the Blue.
Yep.
And I have nothing more to say.
Put on the Way of Blue
Be gone.
ring.
You are not needed.
I forget if that actually makes a difference, but I'm pretty sure it does.
This one?
Yep.
Transient being.
Ah.
You would never make a Knight of the Blue. Be gone.
Nice.
Do you have to put on the old Leo ring? Is that?
You have to put on the cat ring. Because it's a cat ring.
Transient. You would never be gone.
Oh, don't you have to collect like a certain number of like drops in that?
I haven't actually done intentionally done any helping other players out or anything. I don't think I have items to even do that yet.
I think
we
have
need
to get like your first.
We need one of the Covenant item, not just the ring.
Right, that's right. Also, maybe equip the different.
Oh, is
than
this
the blue seal? No, you can't use.
No, it's not the orbs. It's the thing you get after you have helped somebody as a blue sentinel.
Right, but I don't know how to actually help someone
in the game. No, you have to pick it up as like a drop item or defeat an enemy or something. Like you'll get one.
Okay, well we'll come back then. I'll get these
but
chests
yeah, I think you still have a different ring equipped.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
What's this one? Get that 69 cast time. Maybe it's this item. That would be fitting. Nope. 2 shields. Why would you put 2 shields in a box?
Well, no, that was a shield and a parma.
What's a parma?
The sandwich, like a chicken parma.
That's not.
Hey, Mo, you're on the East Coast, right? You know what a chicken parma is.
Yeah.
Well, what's a cleric parma?
What's a chicken parma, but it's blue. Use the blue chicken.
Blue cheese, blue chicken.
Oh, I was about to say, why are we still using the large leather shield when we have at least
we don't have anything that I can equip.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was misreading. I thought
I realized I hadn't checked these, but I don't have one
using
that
a shield.
I thought the Drangleic shield, is that going to be too heavy for us?
For right now, but that's probably want that. That's
one.
Really good
I mean,
shield.
you haven't used a shield since.
That's the thing, is I haven't actually blocked anything. I probably should try and get back into the habit of using the block when it's not a good time to dodge. But I don't love the idea of blocking and taking 10% chip damage. Even if it's better than taking a full hit.
Why not just dump points into adaptability and unequip the shield?
I could, and then that would also give me a little bit of load back, but
try your roll with the Drangleic shield and see how that feels.
I can't.
No, you can't.
Since as
strength.
Strength is 16.
All of these, all of my strength is too low for any of these. So even this one is still a 90% shield. So I would need to put 7 points into my strength, which, if I ever get a weapon that I can ascend to magic and then get magic scaling off of that, then maybe I could see putting points into strength and dex more. But as it stands, I don't think it's worth it for a shield that I don't really use that often.
Agreed. Yeah. Unequip.
Nope, I'm gonna hold it. It's my
unequip and put on a pyromancy
It's my
flame.
pancake. Okay?
No, we need to have something because Niko might walk into a room and the pursuer will appear and we'll need to parry.
Or just beat the pursuer.
Read those messages.
Yeah, I gotta read all these.
Yeah.
Oh, they're normal. What?
That's my favorite.
One person did
Pokemon.
the right thing, and the rest of those people are boring normies. Check that one out, though. They're probably more...
Oh, this is probably talking about one that put a fake illusion message. All right, it's time to light that fire. Woo!
There you go.
Is this a dead end?
I mean, it is a covenant.
All right, so it's just to be able to come back and talk to that guy then?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Nice. Well, killed the boss. Let's go level up a few more times, I guess. Maybe I could buy that that other branch.
That's an option.
Yeah, you could acquire another branch. And that should actually make your staff upgrades a lot more effective.
That's not what that does.
Let's just get this now. Well, I've got enough souls.
I mean, the more branches you have, the more room for staff you have.
That's...
Yes.
Bearer of
Smile and nod. It's okay.
But I really don't like it.
I'm going to be pretty far off of 2 levels. Maybe I'll just level once and then buy a bunch of life gems again.
I thought you had enough souls that you could get a... I guess I don't know how... I don't remember how much you spent for the last one.
We have a lot of items. Let me look up the values real quick.
For what?
Like, we have a lot of the soul items.
Oh yeah, I just
like
the last one
I know we'll need 3K, but
yeah, the last one I used the soul of the Proud Knight.
Yeah,
and
Proud
that
Knight
gave me
is
2,000.
2K.
Yeah.
Large
So this
Nameless
is probably
Soldier
1K.
Is 1.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And we have 9 of the ones that are 800.
These are 800.
Yeah.
You could get a couple levels, or maybe.
I don't feel like using enough to get an extra level. I'll just bring my. I like using this to round up. So
This
okay,
is
so
definitely how I used to play Souls games, and then I think at some point I just started using them all almost immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get to the end of the game and I'll have way more than I need, and then I'll just start like, spending them like candy. But that phrase doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I also never use elixirs in RPGs, so I understand.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, I was short. I need another.
151. Yeah, 151. What an annoying number.
And I'm glad I have to come to this UI every single time I want to do that too.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
There. Less.
Once we're done leveling up, we should talk to Melentia. Because if we weren't over the threshold that I was referring to a while ago, we sure as hell are now.
Cool.
Oh,
all right.
Right. Not a bad choice.
I was looking at those strength and dex thinking of bringing them up to 10, but I'm just not going to get anything out of that yet. I'm perfectly happy to leave them low until it's time to start putting a bunch into them to make a weapon viable.
Yeah, and the kind of weapons we would want to infuse with int scaling, we don't need the super heavy, complicated ones. We can just get a long sword, and
and meet the minimum.
Long sword is really good.
Yep. Okay.
Isn't a longsword just a spear?
No,
it's a long sword.
A spear is a stick with a dagger at the end. A longsword is a sword that is long.
I want a girl with a short skirt and a long sword.
I think that the long sword is
there
the
we go.
default sword, and the short sword is the when someone says a sword, do you think of a long sword or a short sword?
We have a better version of our grinding ring.
I mean, I definitely think of a one-handed sword.
Yeah, right?
But probably on the longer side.
I forget if the 2 rings stack. I don't think they do, but even if they do, they are not worth
giving up everything else.
Yeah.
I think,
but +1 is significantly better than the other one, so this is a nice upgrade.
I am so close to 50%, so I'm bumping up against that.
It's
that number,
the +1 is 20% instead of 10% extra.
Nice, cool.
I would say, I would suggest, since we now have the remaining 2 branches that we have access to right now, let's maybe go use one of them. There's the petrified person in Things Betwixt, and there's a petrified person in the tunnel after Heights.
Yeah, I was thinking the tunnel after Heights.
there's
that might be an important thing, whereas the one in the
my
beginning is probably here's a little secret thing that you might have forgotten about, but is maybe not necessary for progression. So that's just my hunch.
Places we haven't been yet.
Peregrine is maybe realizing why I said we should save one of the branches.
Well, I mean, that's what I've been thinking all along, and then we just floated a bunch of things, and I realized that,
I will say that the rewards are mostly equivalent, but I would suggest things betwixt.
Okay.
But it's not a huge difference, so for now.
I think I just probably want to run there, huh?
I would take the bonfire.
Okay. Well, because it was like in the kind of cavernous area, right?
Yep.
I would. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay.
It is a. There is.
Not gonna throw too much shade at your recommendation here, but
it is a.
Well, also, this gives me a chance
if
to see if
something
anything
were
changed
to
here.
happen, I'm not saying anything will, but if something were to happen, this is a shorter run.
Consider
we could also say hi to the ladies. Hello. But it's out through the cave.
I know. I just want to say hi. See if they do anything other than laugh.
Still determined as ever, I see.
Yep.
Do you wish to start all over?
Oh, is this the respec?
Yeah, she is the respec lady.
You must go on a journey without rest.
We've been taking some long. We're about to take a 3-week rest.
But if your will is yet unbroken, to start again.
Okay.
No, of course not.
Of course not. All right.
Now go.
Goodbye. All right.
That's up here on the left. Not up the left. Oh, you want to go to the Gacha Crows?
Oh, is that what this is?
Let's play the lotto.
Okay, because like I remember coming here and hearing like laughing noises or something and not knowing what this was. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's like the same voice in all the games. Although I think the crows have different names. That we know what their names are from like the strategy guides or art books or something.
Why?
But okay, so you want to go into your inventory, and down at the bottom there will be smooth and silky stones. Pick leave. Oh,
I don't want to. Okay, so I want to do it from
the
inventory screen?
in this part. Because if you use it like an item, that is going to do something pointless for us. You want to pick leave, and you have to do them one at a time. Yep. Now you can do more than you can do more than one in a drop. We don't have to like leave and come back, which was the case in Dark Souls 1. But so that item on the ground there is the thing we got in return for the stone. Yeah, see?
Yeah. Silky smooth.
Oh.
Got a fire drake stone. That is pretty useful, but not the one we want.
Dang. People real coming out here against Drake, huh?
So now do leave one and do it again. You don't need to pick up the item or step away.
Oh, okay.
So you can.
I just want to hear someone's impression of this voice. Someone who's not me, because I can't pull it off.
Not getting it out of me.
I think Mo should do it.
I need to hear it one more time. Yeah. So nice, so smooth. Silky smooth.
I hate it so much.
Give us smooth. Give us silky.
I don't know if I can pitch that high. That's ooh.
And then we want to do
I have
the
extreme
large
range. I do, or I don't want to use the large.
We do.
Okay.
Same deal. Just leave them one at a time. And there are, I would say, 3 things I'm hoping to get from these 2 in particular, or that I will be happy with. But we might not get any of them. Let's find out.
I mean, we haven't paid real money for any of these, so we're probably not going to get anything worthwhile.
Almost.
No.
2 of them?
The
crows, come on.
The gotcha experience.
Yep.
So what did I actually get? So where are those?
They will be in your upgrade materials. One of them was a soul item, and then the stones are in the upgrade materials because they gave us a raw one and a fire one and 2 bleed ones. And we take those to Macduff, and he infuses our weapons with those. Okay,
but we probably don't actually want... I mean, fire does scale off of magic, so maybe that'd be okay, but...
I don't think
maybe not as...
I forget.
I saw that the fire bonus was going up with...
oh, yeah. Int increases your fire bonus.
Yeah, so... Fire's... I think the issue there is the reason we want...
A lot of enemies are resistant to fire, probably.
There is a particular type of the stones that the sword still does magic, or the sword still does physical damage, the regular damage type, but it scales off of int. And then there's a separate one where the sword also does magic damage, and the magic damage scales off int.
I need to get this.
And so then we get into like, stuff resists fire or resists magic, where I feel like really what we want... Really what we want is, I'm surprised that didn't hurt more.
It all comes tumbling down, tumbling down.
I think really what we want is the infusion where it still just does the normal physical damage and it's just the scale.
That makes sense, because then that means that there's a reason to have spells and a weapon, so that way if certain enemies or bosses are more... Totally. Yeah. Okay, well that was... just a soul, so that's fine, I guess. Alright, so... this way? There we go, okay.
So,
please don't kill me.
He should look familiar, so...
yeah.
He is not one of the talking ones.
You look very, very zombie-like. Nope, okay.
No, he's a friend.
Is truly the last of us.
Let's see what's through here that wasn't in the base version of the game.
Oh, I don't like you.
Oh, they're the cutest Dark Souls monsters.
Watch out! There's a cliff in here.
They're big.
Pick up that item.
They're big, cute eyes.
I'm just trying to heal. Sorry. It's people yelling things at me while I'm trying to play stresses me out.
Sorry. Basilisks also drop infusion stones.
You gotta search your surroundings. You
gotta
gotta
find run along
the
this?
Phoenix. It
No.
can carry heavy load. No.
No at Peregrine, and also no.
Okay. That's fine.
You kicked the tree like you kicked the drawbridge.
Well, I kicked the bucket, actually.
Fair. Do we have any rusted coins?
I think I have a few, yeah.
I
think I might have
those
one,
increase enemy drop rates for a few minutes after you use them if you don't, die.
Okay.
Let's maybe try to get the stone we want off these basilisks. I'm not saying we sit here and grind for it, but if we're gonna murder the stuff in this cave and see what's on the other side.
I fully agree with this. Just increase your chances to get a drop.
Just gonna gotcha all the way.
Yeah, not all the way. Just as far as we need to go right now.
Just gonna keep the
daily
grind. Gonna take these fish and grind them into a paste.
I'm pretty sure I told Mo this, but I forget if I told Peregrine this. the save I've been mentioning where do you take a good look down in that hole before you just drop in there?
Down here.
Yeah, maybe be a little careful.
Okay.
Or you could just
you've
jump in
fallen
instead
for my
of
chamber of secrets.
Well, have fun with this.
Maybe drink an Estus before you die. This is truly the Estus.
That could have gone worse.
Yeah.
They didn't drop anything. How dare they?
Oh, look, they didn't drop anything. Oh,
I'll
look.
take
No,
that shard, though.
the Estus flask shard was already there. That wasn't a drop. That's an item on the ground.
But I will take it nonetheless.
Yeah. The shard is kind of the main reward.
Are we gonna go see that big boy down here at the beach?
If you wanna.
Before
we do, I would get rid of this person and go kind of back and behind you. There's a path. Go kick down the tree. So that if something goes wrong,
Who killed all these trees?
The trees were already dead.
Why
like
are the
all
trees,
of us.
Why are the trees dead? Look at all this water and nature. Why are the trees... Who killed the trees?
Oh, I see you hiding behind that rock.
If you could have one From Software kind of monster or character, boss or whatever in Smash Brothers, who would it be? Would it be this lad?
I still see Priscilla.
I don't know.
That could have gone better.
It could have. Look, I already had a good boss fight. I can't have 2 good fights in one episode.
It's all right. Yeah, there's a couple of those where kind of the weird thing about how they redid this zone is that in the base game, just the arrow guys are like inside that tree room with the drop down. There aren't the basilisks, but the big boys are here, both of them. And there is a very small, very silly thing you get once you've murdered them.
These absolute units.
Yeah, and like the changing it so that they're locked off until you have at least one fragrant branch makes doing a particular gimmick thing in this game.
Oh, hi. Get fucked.
There we go.
I was ready for you, asshole.
Off to a good start. Yeah.
Oh, not that time. Too early. Okay.
That's okay.
I thought I was gonna have the one-shot dream right there.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there.
I was just trying to Google some absolute units.
Do
some more push-ups.
I don't know if you want to do the pursuer fight, but before we go do it again or move on, go talk to the ladies in the house.
Okay.
I forget which one, I'm sorry. I think it's the young one.
Upstairs?
Oh,
there
by
she
the
is.
stairs.
You have proven yourself to the forest. We have little to offer. Except
Whoa, what?
things.
I didn't know this happened.
It's the
that's how you're
ladle. It's the
supposed to get
best
that?
weapon in the game.
So small way.
Yeah, so in the base version of the game, if you wanted to do a ladle-only run because you're a fool, you go kill the 2 trolls and then come back here and you're good to go from the start. But in this version of the game, you have to, like, go get a fragrant branch somewhere and then come back and get your ladle.
Mm.
Anyway.
The old women
Okay.
long ago
Honestly, since we don't use that dagger in our sword hand, the broken straight sword, we should equip the ladle.
Oh yeah. It's only 0.2 weight as well.
We're not.
I mean,
yeah, we're not using the dagger for damage. We're using it to like hit, like barrels and stuff. So why not?
Yeah.
Time to dish out the punishment.
It's gonna be a super strong hit.
A fun fact I discovered back when the base version of the game is relatively new, discovered by watching Lobos Jr., who is a streamer who's kind of infamous for doing like absurd Souls game challenge runs. He decided to do a ladle run, and what he learned, and I learned as a result also, is that when the ladle is in its normal state, it is better than your fists, but it has pretty terrible durability, so it breaks really easily in long fights. And once it breaks, it is worse than your fists.
Oh no!
If an item breaks, do you does it come back when you rest, or do you have to like go and repair it?
You can repair it, I believe. Don't
you have to take it. You have to take it to the blacksmith or use repair powder.
Okay. Because I had seen those powders, and I just assumed that they were like, if durability is low, you can use it to bring it back or whatever. But like, that's good to know. That,
yeah, there's an item or a spell that will repair it. But unlike the other games, you can't repair your stuff yourself at a bonfire.
Yeah.
I think there's one other way to repair.
Yeah, I might be forgetting
really weird
something.
way. One weird trick, basically.
One weird trick to fix your ladle.
I was late.
Could you do anything to like infuse your ladle? Like season it in any way?
It's a weapon, so I think you can.
Yo, can we get a magic ladle?
So we're probably never going to do anything with those bleed or raw stones, and we have
Can you get a bleed ladle?
Oh we have multiples of those anyway. So
ladle's bad.
We're gonna
raw ladle I'm fine with. Raw ladle isn't bad.
The soup is your blood. I'll drink your blood to make my soup.
Let me find the appropriate.
Blood Ladle is the name of my my metal band.
Oh, I had a question I wanted to ask.
Nice job.
I don't know what he was doing that time, but I did not want to let him.
He was gonna reach Super Saiyan.
He was doing before we leave. Hop in that coffin.
That I thought it was a boat. It's a coffin.
No, hop in that. Hop
Take as
in
long
that
as you need.
Get in the coffin.
Is there something over here before I go?
There is not.
No. Okay.
No, I thought I saw an item back there, actually.
All right. This seems fine.
So this coffin was exactly here in the base game, and does exactly what it's about to do.
Wait.
I can't as a lady now. We're trans.
Oh my gosh. Hell yeah.
Real quick, try to like spin the camera around so we can see. I'm curious what it did with the mustache. Is that still there?
Oh yeah. No, well the mustache isn't usually there when I'm like this hollow, so I'd have to use an effigy.
We have like 20 of them, and nobody's gonna invade us here. So
it's true.
Oh, we do have like 20 of them. Holy crap.
Oh, the
okay,
mustache
so no
is still
mustache.
There. Take off the hat. I'm curious about the hair. So this is hard to explain, and I only figured this out setting up the saves I've been mentioning.
Whoa!
So, I think this is the same hairstyle that let's just say AM AB I can't
So
had as well.
Well,
if you
it's a high tie, which is not what I can.
If you remember in the character creator, the hair selection is a grid of like options.
Right.
And the options in the grid are different based on the gender you've selected. What it does for the hair when you get in that coffin is it picks the equivalent hairstyle in the other gender's grid.
Right.
And I had to figure this out recently because I wanted a very particular hair option, but also I refused to play this particular game, since this coffin exists, as anything other than a canon trans character. If you get in the coffin again, it will put everything back.
No, I think we're gonna stick with it. I mean,
nice.
Listen, you
that
hop in the coffin, get your dose of Spiro, and you're good to go.
That makes
sadly
me happy.
Not actually that easy for most people. So, but
if only.
Yeah, yeah. This, but maybe this game. Oops, I can't do that. Sometimes games are a good way to escape the harsh realities of the world. So. Okay, so we're all done here.
Yes.
That's cool. That was not what I was expecting to happen when you I got in that coffin. So.
Let's go make the ladle raw.
Oh jeez.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's time for a raw ladle.
What does that even do? What does that mean?
I can explain the infusion. It's easier to explain the infusion when we're looking at the UI, so let's just do it there as like an example to anybody who wants to see how this is not even the most ludicrous upgrade system in this series.
It's just some raw soup,
Yeah, which is just bones and water.
Mm-hmm.
Before you cook, it's just
before you turn it
bones,
into an emulsion.
Yeah. Hi, McDuff.
All right.
Pick the
it's
ladle.
right here.
Okay, so these are the different elemental types. Magic is the one that adds
magic damage.
Magic is the one that adds magic damage. Enchanted is the one that makes int scaling. Poison,
we don't even have.
Yeah,
we don't even have enchanted on this list here, so I guess
it's in the bottom row. Enchanted's next to raw.
Okay.
And then
I must need something then, because I can't even go to it. It won't let me. Not that I have the stone for it anyway. Like I'm on raw, but if I press left. If I press left, it skips the bottom left option.
Oh, that's bleed.
Oh, that's bleed. So what I learned from the wiki is that
because it's a blunt weapon.
It's because it's a strike weapon. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
so if I were to pick this one, then I could do bleed. But enchant. Oh, it's right here. What am I thinking? So wait.
Yeah.
What was...
we just don't have the stone for it.
This one's magic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at the numbers, you can see what I mean about
right, it adds the scaling, but like this one, the main damage is reduced in favor of some magic damage, and this one it's not.
Right.
Yep.
Because it's scaling. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So what was raw again? You said it's just more damage. Not that I'm ever going to use it for this.
So it removes all of the scaling, but gives you a higher base damage.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that this ladle is now going to do 23 damage instead of 20.
That's what you need it for.
It means that if we were to upgrade this to the ladle to +10, it would do 46 instead of 40.
Nice.
Well,
that's gonna be that's my new nice number. It's 46.
My raw handmaid's ladle is ready to slap some fools.
I'm done with 69. I'm done with 420. It's all about that 46 now.
You just combined them.
This was a very fun excursion, and
this is a weird episode.
We have 10k souls. Let's maybe figure out what to do with those.
Welcome back to Dark Souls 2. We're doing wacky stunts with our raw ladle.
What was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say. I just can't stop thinking about our ladle.
Here, let me see it.
I have a question we could all think about if you want to come with me to Mo's Food Corner for a second.
Real quick, before Mo's Food Corner, the thing I was gonna say
voluntarily
is
do
that,
some more push-ups for a sec. I'm just
gonna. If we ever get into a situation where we are really hankering for an enchanted melee weapon, we could go try to farm those basilisks, and that's kind of our best option for a while, but we'll be alright. Anyway, Mo's Food Corner.
Okay,
the real Dark Souls.
Just a question. And the question is, if you had to choose two of the following, you get to keep two, and you just have to lose two forever, and they are salt, butter, sugar, or mayonnaise. Which two are you keeping, and which two are you losing?
I'm salt and sugar. I'm keeping salt and sugar. Easiest choice I've ever had to make on a stream.
I mean, it's salt and butter. You don't need sugar to...
I'm keeping salt and butter.
Why are you keeping butter? There are so many things you could... Have you met a vegan? Have any of you met a vegan?
Nope, never.
Actually, that's a very convincing argument. I'm keeping salt and sugar.
That's fair, but like, there's so much. So the problem is that I cook with butter a lot, and this hasn't really led to me having the greatest physique. But it does taste good.
I have several viable alternatives for you if you ever need them.
That's a very good point.
All right, then in that case, cakes. Salt and mayonnaise. Like, what? You can't just like throw 4 things out there in an attempt to dunk on mayonnaise as though like it is an essential required core component of food.
I mean, now
real talk.
A BLT is real good, and you don't have mayonnaise on that. It's not a BLT.
You don't need. There's no M in BLT.
Real talk.
Mo, please tell me you don't eat your BLTs dry.
I put avocado on them.
When Mo floated this question,
BLTA.
When Mo floated this question in the group chat, I misunderstood it because he said something about, which would it be, butter or whatever, mayonnaise, and in my head, I thought the question was, which of these would you eat, say, an ounce of raw, just on its own? Would you rather? Would you rather?
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, like what would be? In what order would you consume just like a bowl full of condiment?
This. I don't want
okay. This now we can. Now we're playing with power. Now we're like if you had to take a raw ladle to any one of these condiments.
Just one?
Oh God.
Like, let's do. I'm taking this to a new level. Let's do this. Let's go with the mustard, ketchup, mayonnaise, and fish sauce.
No. As well as the originals?
It's like Mary Poppins.
No more
originals. Because
I think the would you rather have too much salt or too much butter conversation is pretty interesting, personally.
It's like Mary Poppins said, a spoonful of fish sauce makes the medicine go down.
Now, okay, I'm gonna run some numbers on that salt and butter one to kind of make a point about my choice.
But I would choose the one I would go for first would be sugar. I think a bowl of sugar would be gross, but you could do it relatively easily.
I'm gonna have to do some number crunching here for a second. What's the average weight of a human?
It's like 160 pounds, probably.
Yeah, I need that in kilograms.
I like how this boy died with 2 swords pointing up.
Incredible. He's T-posing beyond the grave.
I'm just gonna stand right here. Just that's a good screenshot right there. All right. I killed a necromancer. I made forward progress in the skeleton cave. That's cool.
The giggling you were
also,
hearing
I feel like
is
these
the cursed jars. They giggle.
Yeah, the jars seem like they're doing bad things to me.
They're just a curse AoE. They're annoying, but not actually that scary.
Okay.
Here we go. Bulk density charts. Thank you.
Oh boy.
A lot of sodium salts on here. Sodium chloride.
Oh, would a bowl of salt just completely desiccate a person?
Kilograms per cubic meter. That's the one.
From most food
Yeah, you just shrivel up and suddenly get extremely wrinkly.
Oh, this is gonna be some math. This is more math than I bargained for. Okay, that's probably 1.2. I'm guessing. 82. Factor of 1,000. Yes. Okay, that checks out. 1.2 was 1.3.
This gets more ominous the longer it goes on.
I know.
Okay, this is okay. 186 grams.
I think a bowl of salt should not be consumed by anyone in one sitting.
Okay, so I have to get on.
I'm gonna say okay. What's the volume of a bowl here?
Say 16 ounces.
Jesus Christ! You couldn't have picked a smaller bowl?
16 ounces is a pint. A pint is.
But that's about a bowl. So
a pint is like a large bowl.
But like, okay, so soup
a pint is a large bowl. Yeah.
But we're talking about a bowl of salt.
Okay, then a quarter cup, so 2 ounces.
Okay, I've crunched the numbers, and I'm here to say, if you ate a bowl of salt, you would die. Thanks for bearing with me. I was trying to figure out
just gotta
how
stay
many
hydrated.
grams of salt, how many grams of granular sodium chloride. So for based on the lethal dose in mice, you could consume up to 186 grams of sodium chloride. So you weigh 62 kilograms, the average weight of a human.
How much is that in?
That is about 155 milliliters, which is less than half of a 16-ounce sodium bowl.
Yeah, that tracks. I feel like yeah.
This is basically why you can't drink ocean water, right? Because I feel like the salt limit before your body just does not put up with it is pretty low. Meanwhile, you could go to town on some butter. I am willing to bet you could eat well.
Careful you don't roll off the cliff.
I'm going to do a Google search here that I've never considered before that I don't know if it exists.
There's been a lot of that today.
Fatal butter intake.
Oh.
All right, PDF, lethal dose table.
Oh, my body. My body's flipping out.
Of butter.
Butter, no.
Yeah, this is you on salt, everyone.
No, that's not. Oh, did you die? Oh, wait, hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah. We're done with the front entrance of that cave, but we very definitely want to go in from that other back entrance.
Yep, and I'm gonna make the assumption that this is like Dark Souls 1, and that necromancers do not respawn even after you die and reset or bonfire.
They do not. Just the skeletons.
Oh, there's a Urban 75 Forums has a thread entitled
I'm not wearing my helmet.
Butter.
What was the thread called?
LD50 of butter. So an LD50 is short for a lethal dose, 50% of a population. So generally when you do a toxicology study, you dose up until 50% of your sample population dies from exposure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's not a true, lethal doses, you can never get a truly accurate, right? Because it'll vary by individual, but this is kind of the proxy.
Sure.
It varies by your body's tolerant to salt, which, given the fact that I'm playing Dark Souls, means that I have a pretty high tolerance.
Okay, here's the thread, which won't solve our problem, sadly, but it is Mrs. Quoad, Quoad, says, dinner was garlic and onions and about 4 types of mushrooms, fried slowly in quite a lot of butter, with half a pint of double cream, an extra posh, quote, all butter puff pastry, and a baking tin liberally coated with butter. Line break. For the first time in my life, I feel profoundly unwell from butter. Line break. Will I die?
This is like, so a lot of people, a lot of people.
Quote, well-known member Mrs. Quode. Again, no profile picture.
A lot of people have talked about whether it's possible to do kind of like Lovecraft style horror without all the icky racism. And I think that paragraph did a good job of sort of demonstrating the, like, escalating terrible knowledge thing. Except it's butter, right? So...
I want to say that user Herbsman, period, that period is included in the name Herbsman, one word, whose subline is, quote, "Free the poppy," says, quotes, "LD50 of butter? Line break. I knew you would start this thread one day." Line break.
Oh my.
This is your best ever. Now,
wow.
I want us to play a little, like, you know, Dark Souls is all about environmental storytelling, found objects, language descriptions. Let's maybe like piece together the war here between Mrs. Quode, noted butter consumer, and Herbsman, who
I hate
has
this.
clearly been waiting for Mrs. Quode to overdose lethally on butter consumption.
I think it just means this is like the third or fourth like common household baking ingredient that she has tried to eat too much of.
I think.
And also, like, Mrs. Quode included a half a pint of double cream, which it's not. That's a quarter of the bowl serving size that we mentioned earlier, but that's still like. Or sorry, that's a half the size. That's 8 ounces. That is a full cup.
That's a lot of. You don't want to do that to yourself.
And what is double cream?
It's heavy cream.
Okay.
I mean, it's just the British for heavy cream.
I've had a bowl of cereal where I accidentally used half and half instead of milk.
Oh, God.
And I didn't realize it until I was mostly done, and I was like, why does the cereal taste so good? Oh
what
my
was
god.
The cereal?
Oops!
You tried to do Dark Souls 1 style jumping, and that is not how that works.
Please tell me what the cereal was.
It was like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or something, I don't know. It was thick. Yeah. To answer the original question, could you eat any? Oh, I didn't even see you there. I could not. I cannot do any of them. I'm sorry.
What is that forum? Like, what's the theme of it?
It's urban75.net. I have no idea. I just clicked a Google page about. Oh, let me click the About tab.
Oh, it's a fast one.
Urban75 info about us.
Crap.
History of the site. There's a link. Okay. Wait, it's a recursive link. Hold on a second. Okay, here it is. Urban75 is a how do you pronounce this British location? I never know how to do this. It's Brixton? Is that right? It's not gonna be like Breton or something like that. Okay, Brixton-based non-profit independent site founded by a Cardiff City FC-loving Welshman living in Brixton.
Okay.
The site's been online since 1995 with the DIY keep it cheap approach, meaning that the site has ended up being spread over 3 domains. Urban75.com, home of the original site, urban75.org, where the site expanded where we ran out of server space, and urban75.net, home to the bulletin boards. The entire Urban75 site now attracts in excess of 250,000 page impressions per day, but remains independent and non-commercial. We continue to shun lucrative advertising and corporate sponsorship deals, with the site being run and maintained by the editor and moderator team. Oh, and there's a link to the moderating team. Do you think they pay dues?
Honestly, given what you just read to me, if I didn't know better, I would think this site was a front for Something Awful Forum Games.
I know, something like that.
That is exactly the description they would write for, like, a front website for, like, their secret forums.
I found an amazing thing. So the mods link takes you further down the page to the board moderators section, but right above this section, I just want to read this nice bit of environmental storytelling I found, which is, occasionally, the boards have made national headlines. Most famously when Police Commander Brian Paddock joined the boards to discuss issues with Brixton's online community about local police practices and the growing drug problem in the borough.
Niko read my mind about grabbing a torch.
Yep. Is this like... That must have happened in like 1998 or something. And
this is...
The police person like did like basically like an AMA because for some reason, right? Like,
oh, that was a good crystal.
Oh no! Here, a more lighthearted tale emerged in late 2005 when a mischievous poster invented a totally fictional account of quote-unquote crack squirrels, safe in the knowledge that with so many journalists reading the site, it stood a good chance of making the news on a slow day. Sure enough, a few days later, the BBC, ITV, and a host of national newspapers ran the story.
Oh my god.
The site also earned the accolade of being described as, quote, the naughty corner of British politics by news site The Register, commenting on the fate of a Save Tony Blair petition that had caught the attention of mischievous Urban 75 posters.
Oh gosh.
Hooray!
That's a lot.
What is it? Prison Stone again?
This is
I forget.
Southern England,
it's just a thing you
Neo
drop
Marker,
to
basically.
make some like.
Yeah.
Check out.
So,
yeah.
except they're posting
I don't
about
think there's
eating too
anything
much
out
butter.
by that cliff's edge, but just to be sure, yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
grabbed
we're
that
done.
already.
We're done with the cave.
Okay, so is this just supposed to be a shortcut, assuming the skeletons don't come back anymore? So that we have to run through
the skeletons always come back, but if you run,
but they
through
only
here,
die. They only. Okay.
Like the necromancers
once.
never come back, but the skeletons do, and the skeletons
and
don't get respawned if the necromancers not.
Oh, they have a list of AKAs on their about page.
Desus and Marrow are there.
They have this intro. Urban 75 has no affiliation with any political party, philosophy, or campaign group, whether they be mainstream, independent, overground, underground, or wombling free.
Wombling?
Listen. We're into some deep British. We're into the world of double cream, baby, and I can't translate everything.
Nico, I am looking at my recording timer. I would say let's take some swings at the skeleton boys, and maybe that'll be
okay.
that.
What wasn't someone saying we didn't want to end on a boss, or what was that all about? I missed that.
just the idea that if you didn't beat the boss and then took like a month off, it might be kind of annoying to hop back in at the boss fight.
Well, I mean, I didn't say that I'm taking a month off between this and the next recording. I'm saying that there's going to be near a month between this episode and the next one being shown. So.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
gonna have to
but
make
also we have like an exploration option. It doesn't have to be like smack into a fight. We have more than one path available to us right now.
But we have a bone party right here.
Yep. No homewards in here.
This is on brand. we got a bone ET bone home. That's what I say.
Oh. No, you're in the way. I'm gonna use this column.
Anyway, my answer is I'd eat the bowl of butter.
I mean, yeah. Like, butter is just the most weight.
Butter is just like quadruple cream, you know?
My problem is that butter all on its own would so upset my like texture issues that I have with food that this is like a real problem for me. I would almost rather eat the bowl of salt and die.
You gotta, like, the problem there is if you want to fix the texture issues, you should really render the butter in 4K.
I need a butter emulsion?
Butter is an emulsion. Just so we're clear on this, but butter
twice
is
emulsified
already
butter?
an emulsion.
Extra churn? Twice emulsified?
Is butter an emulsion? Thank you, Google.
This form seems pretty cool, to be honest.
Oh, Science and Food UCLA.
There's like a protest and direct action, like subform.
Yeah, no, right? Urban 75 actually seems kind of bad.
Urban 75.
like I was gonna follow up and say that one of their like AKAs is like some conservative news outlet calling them like the anarchist anti-capitalist. I'm like, hell yeah, Urban 75, death by butter, baby.
I'm a little sad that through random chance, Niko killed the Bone Wheel Skeleton Lord second. Because basically how this fight works is that each of the lords summons a different kind of skeleton. And so if you know which chair the skeleton wheel guy sits in, you rush him, and then the fight is basically
this is a lot of skeletons.
There's more of them, but there will only be more of them until the health bar is gone.
I just don't know if I'm gonna have enough spells.
Well, then we're gonna have to bust out that ladle. That would be the best outcome.
That'd be the best.
Oh my god. Well, and they're skeletons, so the blunt damage will actually be pretty effective, right? They'll feel the full brunt of that raw ladle.
Oh, 23 damage instead of 20.
Oh my god, and of course you would need to use a ladle. They're a bunch of bones. They're raw soup.
Yep, you gotta turn these bones into soup.
I think
you're gonna have enough.
We gotta push him back into this broth.
Yeah, I think as long as you don't get too many...
Okay.
As long as you don't hit their shields too much, I think you're good.
Yeah, I've been trying to bait attacks. Alright, these 3 more crates will be good.
No.
This boss fight is a lot worse on paper than it is in practice, I feel like. It's not too bad. It can be really fun to co-op with a bunch of people who are like a bit too strong for the fight because you show up and there's like 30 skeletons.
Last one.
You gotta ladle.
Don't give up, skeleton.
You gotta ladle the last one. You gotta.
No mercy. Oh,
here we go.
Finally, some melee damage in his playthrough.
Yes. Yes. Soup's up.
Yes, fantastic. So,
well, that was a skeleton of fun.
I'm so proud.
If there is, I think that might be the only item, and as usual, alluring skulls are the item you drop that makes enemies fight each other.
Okay.
All skulls are alluring.
Or draws enemies to a location.
Oh, we made some good progress this episode.
I am very excited for us to get a look at the next area and stop at the first bonfire.
Okay. I'm just taking a look at this here.
The old Iron King commanded the capture.
Oops.
There is a second door out of the arena, not the waterfall one.
Yeah, I'm just
should be kind of the way we're headed. Yep.
Oh,
over here.
Oh, the next area. The next area will truly introduce us to the most wretched of
if you hit them with the ladle, they should fall over the chairs. If you really want to mess them up. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Take that raw ladle.
Yeah. Destroy the kings.
No gods.
Take down
no
these symbols.
No
these
skeleton
symbols
lords.
of monarch.
Death to all skeleton thrones.
Tell them Urban 75 sent you.
Oh, I remember seeing this little crack in the rocks.
Yep.
Okay.
Like the Hammer and Sickle has a lot of like bad baggage behind it. I think we need to have like a ladle and staff symbol. Would be the next generation.
The Liar Ahead.
Yes.
Lever.
Thank you
the
for
Liar Ahead.
lever.
The Liar Ahead definitely referred to somebody telling you to jump, but that other message was maybe not a lie.
Okay.
Oh, it wasn't cake?
Please don't. It's 2018.
You get it?
Find another reference.
Hey, any real gamers in the crowd tonight?
I don't get it.
Any real gamer? You know how you know who's a real gamer?
Please read the messages.
You give them a bowl of butter and they eat it.
God.
There's a secret of sorts, but not one you need to like stare around for.
What happened here? That doesn't look natural.
That hole was made just for him.
That's probably fine.
Just taking a nap.
It's probably fine.
I heard like some loud mechanical noise.
I'm a little disappointed because usually that stretch of land is one of the message ahead, therefore message stretches of ground.
Oh, Harvest
It's everyone's
Valley.
favorite brand of ranch
So,
dressing.
I love this farming game.
There is a bonfire through that little cave, if you didn't see it. But before we go through there, let's talk to her.
This person. Okay.
Oh, this is a really good area.
Oh.
It's just a bunch of ranch.
Are you a traveller?
Yep.
I'm Chloanne, an ore-stone trader.
Oh, I love her skull.
I travel about collecting rare stones, which I sell to make my living. I
Watch
never planned
out,
to
we
live
got
in
ourselves a
this
real
godforsaken place.
stoner here.
Have you been talking to
I just
Leningrad?
sort of ended up here.
Oh, her
You must have
memory's
just
gone.
wandered in.
Huh.
Getting stoned will do
Now
that
I'm
to
here.
a person.
I've been scouting around for rare bits. Oh, don't look at me like that. Many of these stones are quite useful. For instance, certain stones are used in smithing. Ah, now your ears prick up. I've extras if you can pay.
Oh.
This is my
I'm watching a competitive eater eat. Just set the world record for butter eating, and it is
No!
Wait,
truly-
what is the record?
Mo,
tell
do
me,
not.
Tell me what the record is. Mo, please.
It is.
Real quick, so,
Dead
She
again.
she does sell a couple spells. The important thing is, as her dialogue led on, she will end up being our source of infinite upgrade materials, basically.
I see. So
Unfortunately,
right now she just has Titanite, but
Yep, but that will change over time.
okay.
The
came
the
here in
record
search of rare
is
stones.
7 1/4
The place
Um,
is nothing like I was told.
7 1/4 pounds of salted sticks in
Salted.
5
No.
5 minutes.
Salted.
no!
7 1/4. Oh
And,
my god.
yeah.
What is the
It's-
volume of a stick of
These
butter?
stones may look all
It
the same,
is.
but to the trained eye, each is unique.
God,
Some
it's
of
a
them are
lot
used
of
to
butter,
smith
is what it
weapons
is.
that aren't.
Yeah,
And some
but that's
unique
more than a
stones
bowl.
provide special
So it's not gonna
benefits.
kill you like a bowl of salt would.
Some of them are extremely rare.
The sticks of butter
Oh,
I
no,
buy
I'm
at the
sorry.
grocery
I was
store
misreading it.
come in
911
boxes
grams.
of
No, I was-
4.
Differences in
And
I
I'm
was
trying to
completely
imagine
misreading it.
cramming 2 whole boxes of butter in my face, and I don't like it.
Oh, 7. No, it's 7 1/4 pounds.
I know.
salted
Wait,
stick.
it's-
I misread
Oh,
it.
it's not 7
Not
pounds?
7 1/4. That's
No,
only
I-
1.75 pounds of butter. Come
That's
on.
still a lot.
Still a lot of butter.
I think that still hits. I think that's more than. I think that's almost 2 of the bowl size that we decided
Yeah.
on.
Did you watch
I mean, to
the
be fair,
video?
my stuffing recipe
Oh, I did not
is
watch the video.
2 full loaves of bread ground up into breadcrumbs and an entire pound of butter. So
Oh, this is this YouTuber. I think I've
Niko.
watched this person eat a cactus.
Nico, keep
Oh,
talking
no.
to Chloanne until her dialogue
That's
loops
terrible.
so that she will go back to Bejula.
The fact that he's got the glove
There we go.
and his wristbands are
Oh.
so bad.
Oh my
Perhaps we'll
god.
meet again. If if we live
Oh
that long.
god, this is just gets worse the more I freeze frame it.
Yep,
searched
it's
through.
it's a
Yep,
lot.
we're good.
About time I moved shop.
Okay.
So, we were talking about jars of ketchup the other episode. Do not roll. That message is correct. So, walk on through.
Jars of harvest.
This is like
yeah.
This is some tutorial goop.
Oh, watch out for that Harvest Valley ranch.
So, the way the goop works is that the more of you that is covered in green goop, the faster you get poisoned.
So if you roll, then you get fully submerged
head to
in
toe.
the goop. All right, I think we should go level up,
Yep.
and then call it an episode. Did anyone have any last-minute final thoughts for the year in games? I think we pretty much kind of got through most of that.
Oh, I meant to shout out Hollow Knight because
Yeah.
I was talking about how this was the year when I finally played all of these games, like the Souls games, but I could not have been less blind in those playthroughs. But Hollow Knight, I had kind of seen a speed run, but a speed run of that doesn't really tell you much. And so I got to do a really, really, really phenomenal one of this kind of experience, without knowing anything, for the first time, which was quite something.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Donut County for being the only game I know of in 2018 to have an active soup mechanic.
That's very
Unlike
good.
this one also has a soup mechanic.
I just want to mention Crosscode. Crosscode is awesome. I really have enjoyed. I'm about halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it. I'm also watching someone eat a salad bowl full of ketchup right now.
No, why do you do this to yourself?
Mo, I have an incredibly cursed video for you.
Please don't.
Those level
I feel like
up
we have to
choices-
stop here on.
I've been waiting for
Those level up choices
9
look,
episodes for this.
Those level up choices look alright to me.
Solid.
Just gonna Google.
Well, we gotta
ketchup
stop
shovel
on
real
on
quick.
level 69 here for the end of the year episode.
Yep.
That's
Very
nice.
nice. We should also, if Chloanne is back here, we should go talk to Leningrast real quick.
Okay. Also, another personal favorite
and
shout out.
see if we can upgrade our staff, because that crystal lizard in the cave had a chunk, think, a couple large shards.
I think I needed 3 large, so we'll see.
Do regular talk to him real quick first.
Okay.
My witless daughter.
Oh.
His daughter's Chloanne.
Just as oblivious as she's always been.
And you're just as much of an asshole as you've always been.
Now, I
Yeah, he's a
can
grumpy
help.
dad, but, he wants her to be safe. And let's be clear, she was in a real messed up place, as we will find out
Yeah, we'll find out
at some point.
in about a month's time.
My second favorite zone to grind in the game.
This is middle school dance rules apply. This is a no
I do have
grind
3.
zone.
Hell yeah.
Everyone, okay?
Perfect.
We are not allowed to grind at this.
And I have a
party.
chunk.
Double
You know,
perfect.
if you need, it's not grinding. It's just collecting.
Can we upgrade our
souls
ladle?
Oh, I like
quickly.
that. I do
Just
like that
upgrade the
notched
ladle.
whip, though. I bet you could get some good ketchup with that
Do
notched
it.
whip.
We have 17 shards. Who cares?
I could use, but I could upgrade my armor.
Yeah, or you could upgrade your raw ladle.
Okay, I'll upgrade my raw ladle 1 time. That's it. That's all you get. Now I
No,
have a raw
because the
ladle
second,
plus 1.
yeah,
have
because the
16
second
shards.
2 shards is maybe a lot for a goof, but 1 is. All right,
I know
let's
some
look at
people
our-
who would pay good money for a quality.
You were gonna
Dutch
look at
oven.
your armor.
Oh, I don't know if I guess I could upgrade the chest armor. The rest of the stuff, I don't know if it's something I'm
You
gonna
don't need to
really
upgrade your
hold on
armor
to
if you
for.
upgrade your adaptability. I'm just saying.
Well, if you're not gonna upgrade your armor, you should definitely upgrade that ladle.
You know it's not
A
going to help you
+2
in the next
ladle
area
is
filled
way
with.
funnier than a +1 ladle.
Oh, this is Twinkling Titanite. Ooh.
Oh.
The rest of this is probably shit.
We
That's
should
not.
have
You don't
a
need
bit of
Twinkling
that.
Titanite
We should
for
have
your
a bit of
ladle.
We should have a bit of twinkling from the pursuer, but we should be
Yeah.
real careful about spending that.
I'm gonna hold off. I mean, again, I'm not doing a defense heavy build, so
Upgrade the
really
ladle.
upgrading my armor is not.
Plus
No,
2
I'm
ladle.
not. No, nope. I'm putting the foot down. I wanted to say also shout outs to Into the Breach, a game that I like because it is really good at making me feel smart. Like anytime you get yourself into a bind and then you spend like 10 minutes staring at it and then finally the pieces click into place and you feel like an absolute genius. I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
The Switch port is real good.
Yeah. I haven't played it on Switch, but
yeah, I want to play it on Switch. Oh, I have one more to shout out if that's cool. Which is the Zeum Museum and Zeum Garden, which are these really weird experimental kind of museum space kind of games that each of them would take about a half an hour to play through, and they're very cool.
yeah, that's cool. And I think you told me that you plan to like stream some more random smaller games over the holidays on this channel. So keep an eye on the space, and maybe you'll learn about something that you hadn't heard about, which is always a good thing.
Or you'll
so
just
I
learn
think-
about butter.
Yeah, you gotta sometimes you gotta take the bad with the good. So
How much butter it takes to die.
yes. So that's gonna do it for this very holiday themed episode. Sparkletone, where can people find you on the internet?
I am Sparkletone on the Bird website and the Waypoint Discord.
Peregrine.
You can find my unsalted butter channel at twitch.tv/peregrine38 or my salted butter channel on Twitter at terrificbroth.
And Mo.
You can find me at twitch.tv/mo_swords and Twitter at the same handle, and Mo on forum and Discord and stuff.
All right, and I'm Niko. You can find me hanging out on the Waypoint Discord, and you can follow me on Twitter at Corey D. Shaw. Special thanks, as always, to 2Mello for graciously allowing us to use his music. You can find the track Old Haunts and everything he does over at 2mellomakes.bandcamp.com. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, you can find them over on my YouTube at bit.ly/NikoYouTube. We'll be off, as previously mentioned, for the next 3 weeks due to the holidays, and we will be making our triumphant return on Wednesday, January 9th, right here on twitch.tv/waypointcommunity at our usual time of 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Have a safe and happy holiday if you celebrate, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.